You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu
of
sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You are
of
the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
روح
God.
خدایی.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face of
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the face of
Well, good morning, everyone. So, welcome to Unity of London on this Sunday morning. And so, as we come together this morning, we are grateful for the opportunity to spend this time with our Unity community, We welcome those people who are online with us now and those who may watch later, and especially those who are live at Unity of London on Nelson Street. So in August, our power of the month is will, which is the ability to choose, lead, and decide. So will is located in the front of the brain. And so our affirmation this morning is, I choose my good based on spiritual understanding. So at Unity of London, of course, we have a vision which we share with many other Unity churches worldwide. And our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And so our mission is co-creating with Spirit to transform lives through shared spiritual awakening. So what does that mean? So what it means is that we strive to be a loving, inclusive, supportive community. And so that's really great because we come together on Zoom, we come together in person, we come to connect with everyone throughout the world. It also means that we promote our own self-expression, because without that, our life lacks spontaneity and joy. And without service to others, it lacks meaning and purpose. So we also live the 5 principles that we have learned through our Unity movement. The first one is God is, which means that God is absolutely good, everywhere present. The second one is I am, which means we all, each of us, have a spark of divinity, the Christ spirit within us. The third one is I think. So that comes down to a saying that we usually know, or pretty much all know, which thoughts in mind produce after their kind. And then I pray. So through prayer and meditation, that is how we make that conscious connection with the divine spirit within, without, and all around us. And the last one is I live. So it is not enough just to know these principles, but you need to go out into the world and live those principles as well. Knowing and understanding the laws of life, also called truth, are not enough. One must also live the truth that we know. And of course, we all want to inspire people to make a positive difference in the world. That sometimes is a bit of a challenge, but we try our best, I know. And of course, the other thing that we do is we provide fellowship and education for spiritual seekers of all walks of life. Regardless of what faith you may be following, you are welcome to always join our fellowship and any of our educational courses. Okay, so this morning we have some announcements. And today's prayer chaplains are Dawn and myself. So my preference would be is that you use Dawn as your prayer chaplain, given that I will be leading the sort of talk after Pauline's discussion today. Oh my goodness, these two, the tandem ride for sight. Amber and Mike, I mean, what an inspirational couple they are as we continue to watch them go through their trip to Ontario. So we encourage anyone that has interest in this, and I think most of us do, if you haven't already, to please donate to raise money for the Toronto Western UHN in support of the STEM Registry for Eyes. They're amazing people, and they have worked so hard and so diligently and so passionately. We are really honored to have them in our midst. And of course, for those of you who are at Unity of London, you know, we all know that Unity is based on prayer for over 130 years. So throughout the week, if you need prayer, there are several things that you can do. One is you can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY. The other thing that you can do is you can come on our prayer and meditation at 9 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday on Zoom. And the link is provided in your newsletter. The other thing too is for those of you who are in London at Nelson Street, you can put your prayer requests in the prayer box and they will be prayed over at Unity for 30 days and then sent on to Unity Worldwide Ministries. And so speaking of prayer, let's just relax. Let's just make that conscious connection to the divine spirit within. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes. We bless everyone attending all spiritual gatherings, knowing that there are many paths to the one God. And today we bless anyone who is on holidays, anyone that may be traveling. We affirm safety for them as they move about the province, whether they are driving, whether they are flying, taking the train, however they are traveling, we affirm safety for them. And we just bless them as they take this last part of the summer to really enjoy the beautiful weather, the opportunities to just see what is going on in our province, to see all of our natural wonders. And we just trust that they have a wonderful, wonderful time. And we also continue to hold peace for every situation in the world, praying that calm minds and loving hearts will prevail. We lift up anyone who is experiencing any challenges, knowing that they have the strength and the love of the divine spirit surrounding them and within them right now. So we take this opportunity to hold anyone that you wish in blessings and prayer and to speak their names quietly into this space. We bless our fellow organizations, and today especially, we bless our Unity churches in Canada. And so now, as we go forth into this, we understand and affirm that I am one with all that is. And so it is, and so we let it be. And so today, Nancy will be reading our daily word.
Releasing the past, I make room for the future. My life experiences have provided me with many gifts, from joyous to painful, and I've taken something from each one, a nugget of wisdom, understanding, solace. This has helped me evolve into the person I am today. I am always growing, always changing. With gratitude, I receive the blessings while letting the painful memories go. I have no room for regret and do not dwell on things I have no power to change. As I release unwanted thoughts and unpleasant memories, I free myself to enjoy new experiences and create beautiful, lasting memories. With an uncluttered mind and an unburdened heart, I embrace the present moment and eagerly create my bright, beautiful future. From Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 6, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away. Today's speaker, Pauline. She has been a prayer chaplain and spiritual presenter at Unity of London since 2012. She's a past board member and president for Unity of London. Pauline is a published author, teacher, and communications coach. She completed her second week of intensive leadership training through Unity Worldwide on July 29th. Yes. Her third week of intensive training begins on October 24th with her message, The Mighty Duet, Will and Understanding. Please welcome Pauling Duncan-Thrasher.
Thank you very much, Nancy. A while back, after I had hurt my wrist, I went to see the doctor because I wanted to make sure that I could go back to the gym. And my doctor said, absolutely, you can go back to the gym. So with great excitement, I went to the gym. I went into the change room and I did twisting, gyrating, jumping up and down, some more twisting. And then I realized that the hour had already passed and I had just gotten into my gym clothes. Today's message is about will and understanding, how they mesh. And will can really give us action. Will can motivate us to get moving, but understanding gives us direction. Understanding allows us to figure out where we are in connection with the world. I'll be referring to this wonderful little book called Discover Your God-Given Potential, 12 Spiritual Abilities to Change Your Life. I don't think it's still in our library. Mine is so worn and I keep it close to me because it just is full of insights. I'll also be referring to a book by Reverend Robert Brumet called Living Originally. What is spiritual understanding anyway? Does it seem like such a deep topic? For many of us who are here at Unity and have been coming for some while, we know that spiritual understanding is figuring out how we relate to the rest of the world in a spiritual sense. That wonderful video that you saw just before before the service about seeing the face of God in others allows us to understand, as long as we are spiritually aware of how we're thinking and what we're doing, what we're saying. We need to be aware because although we say we see the face of God in everyone, if we give a kind of grimace, or our body language gets a little stiff, or our fingers are a little bit clenched, and we're saying all the right words, we're saying, oh, I see the face of God. The person that we're with will pick up on our body language, and they will see the dissonance. They'll see the discrepancy. So today's message is about what discrepancies exist in our lives right now. Not just yours, but mine too. I use the analogy of a duet really, I think the better term for this is a duo. Two people on two different pianos playing the same song, but they've had to figure out how to mesh their playing so it won't have all those awful discords. A long, long time ago, I was asked to play a duet where both of us, two little bodies, were sitting on the same piano bench. My partner was excellent. She knew exactly what to play when. I unfortunately was distracted. I heard something. I got off track, which sent the whole duet into chaos. It didn't work because she was doing her part, but I wasn't. Our piano instructor was not pleased with us. I remember her looking at my partner saying, "You did so well," and looking at me and saying, "A little more practice." Have you ever had times in your life where you really wanted something? It might have been a relationship with a certain person, might have been food, might have been more food, might have been something to drink, maybe a place to go. And you had so much advice about not to make that choice. And you said, "I am doing it. Yes, I'm going to have a relationship with that person, even though everybody I know is advising me against it, even though my inner understanding is saying, don't do it." Yesterday, Dan and I went to a mall here in the city. First time we've been in a mall in a long time. I wanted to pick up some chocolates because we're going out for dinner today. As you know, I love chocolate. If you like chocolate, put your hand up. Almost everybody in the room. Oh, there's one person who doesn't. But you have to imagine it's something that you do like. So my will was not just to buy chocolates for our friends that were visiting, but to maybe pick up a few chocolates for Dan and me while I was there. When I looked at the whole array of chocolates and I decided to create a little box and choose them, I was rather horrified to discover that one chocolate this big was 80 calories. I thought, whoa. And I remembered times when I've had 3 or 4. And one of the people here is going, "So?" And that's what I said exactly. "So I am getting them anyway, and I am eating them anyway." That was where my will was saying, I want them. I like them. They taste good. They make me feel good. So they've got a lot of calories. So what? So our will and our understanding don't always coalesce. We just need to figure out, is it worth it? Is that taste pleasure in that moment worth regretting after? Or is that relationship worth it when I look at it down the road and say, why did I ever do that? Just something to consider and think about. We've already heard from Wilda that will is in the front of the brain. So is understanding. And they both need each other. Will by itself doesn't do it. But will with understanding allows us to make great choices. Now, as Nancy said, I just finished my last intensive. And one of our goals, one of our projects was to do a presentation. My 2 instructors were watching this presentation. One was communications guru, Reverend Kelly Asola, who knows so much about speaking, so much about being effective as a speaker, both using PowerPoint and using the body language, the voice, the posture. So I was all right with that because I've done quite a bit of speaking through Toastmasters. Guess who the other instructor was? Reverend Paul Hasselbeck. Ooh, is right, because he's the master of metaphysics. He wrote the book on metaphysics, and then he wrote another book on metaphysics. So he spun a little wheel, and that we would get the topic we were to present. We had 10 minutes to present. You see the title on there, on that screen? That was what I got, Divine Guidance. I thought, and I need to present this in front of Rev Paul and Rev Kelly, and they will both give feedback. I thought I had it down pat. I researched, I thought I had the right language. But this was what Rev Paul said after. Sometimes our subconscious holds on to ideas we had from long, long ago. And long, long ago, my concept of God was a God out there who is telling me what to do. But our divine guidance, first of all, at Unity, we believe it does not come from out there. It is within. And he asked me after my presentation, do you believe divine guidance is telling you specifically what to do? How would you answer that question? Yes or no? And I felt on the spot. I didn't have a clue how to answer that question. I thought, well, divine guidance is an urge. And I had a beautiful little video that had waterfall coming down. And that urge just flows through us. Divine guidance is an urge. And it's every thought that we have that lets us choose in terms of our consciousness where we are at the moment. So I think he thought I didn't really get it. So he gave me an analogy, and I know that Nancy will love this, and anybody else who bakes will love it. This was the analogy. He said, Pauline, divine guidance is not something from outside. It's not a voice in your head telling you what to do. Divine guidance is like a pantry filled with baking goods. And in that pantry are flour, tools to bake with. You can see them on here. Maybe margarine would be in the fridge, but all the baking utensils that you need are with us all the time. So divine guidance is available to us, but it's not a voice saying, do this, don't do that. It is always available, and we get to choose when we use it. We get to choose if we're going to pay attention and take an action that is accordance with our values. We get to choose what we will do with divine guidance. Will we ignore it? Walk away from it? Or accept what we know is right for us at this time? And we also get to choose how we will use it. When will we use divine guidance? When will we call upon it? What will we do with it? And how will we use it? It's not somebody, as we had in school, tapping us in the shoulder saying, do this, don't do that. So as grown-ups, we get to choose. That's our power of will. And if we match that with understanding, wow, great combination. So some questions to ponder for you. How will you choose to see God in every face this week? How will you do that? What will you do this week that is different from last week, that takes you closer to spiritual awareness? And this is another question. Are these questions making you feel a little bit uncomfortable? Because change is uncomfortable. And using our will means that we also need to become super aware of how we're thinking, how we're responding or reacting, and how our actions either go with our will and our understanding or ignore spiritual understanding. It's not easy seeing the face of God in everyone we meet. Looks lovely on the video, but it's not always easy to do that. It's even harder to take the actions that go with seeing the face of God in everyone we meet. But it's all possible. It's all doable. One step at a time. And you don't have to do all the gyrating and twisting and jumping up and down to do it. You can just relax into it. Go into the meditative silence. And within that silence, you will find a spiritual awareness that allows you to have the insight and the understanding to make choices. Does it mean that every choice you make from now on will be a great choice? Absolutely not. I wish. If it were so easy. It just means becoming super aware. Radical self-awareness is what Robert Brumet calls it. Radical self-awareness. Being conscious of how we are. And figuring out how often we let the external world impose itself on us. How often are we in a group of people and we keep quiet, even though someone is making racial, stereotypical slurs? We don't say anything. We don't want anybody to think that we're prudish or judgmental. Or how often are we in a group and we laugh at a joke that we know puts somebody else down? That radical self-awareness can be a little tough because it means we take off the mask that we put on for everybody else, that nice, pleasant, look at me, I'm so sweet and loving mask. And we really face ourselves as we are. And there might be lots of sweet and loving kindness in how we really are, but there might be little specks of other stuff. The radical self-awareness is an opportunity to transform ourselves day by day into spiritually aware, loving people. I don't know about you and driving at night. I really do not like driving at night. I think the glare of lights coming is pretty horrifying. And there's a headlight on the car, and it helps for a short distance. But we don't know what lies around the curb. We don't know if some animal is going to leap in front of our car, and life is like that. We don't know what's coming. And we don't need the outside lights to tell us. The will and understanding that we need is within us. Right now, where we are. Maybe it's out in the field enjoying nature. Or maybe it's studying, learning, listening, interacting with other people, following our chosen career. We have the will and understanding. Just figuring out how to use it, how to mesh them, how to let them interplay. Let us now go to our meditation. And I invite you just to relax, to let outer turmoil fade away. And the only sound that we hear is the hum in the background. As you work at breathing in and breathing out, we are in the flow of life, in the flow of love. And we just absorb all the good that is in our world, everything that is good, blissful, and peaceful. We embrace our ability to choose. We embrace our freedom. In the next few moments, don't have to think, don't have to figure out anything. Just relax. Let the stillness and the quiet around you harmonize your being. And if you feel distracted, just say, be still. I'll let you know when our time is fulfilled. as we prepare to return, let us understand that free choice is a gift. We can choose it when, how, and for whatever purposes we choose, based on where we are right now. A gift, a blessing, and a responsibility. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
So thank you very much, Pauline, for another really interesting chat. And yes, sort of an awakening for me too, that, as you said, what am I going to do this week to see the face of God in everyone? What am I going to do differently? Well, that's a pretty interesting thought. And I don't know is the answer to that for me. So the other thing too that I think is really interesting is the whole idea of radical self-awareness. And I'm not sure that that's a big step to take, because sometimes we just don't want to go to those places that maybe we don't want the understanding. And as you just said, that is our choice. That is our choice, regardless of what is going on in our lives. We do have our free will choice to look at the things that we want to look at or not. So thank you very much.
I have a dream of what I wanna be. I wanna be free. That's what my heart keeps telling me. Give me your hand.
We'll find a way.
There's people out there
They feel the same.
if we help each other. I just know we can succeed. We are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. We'll be amongst the stars, and we know that it's destiny. And we are unity. We are unity.
I do believe. Oh, I believe in destiny. It's up to me to make it into reality.
Give me your hand.
We'll find a way.
People out there,
Let's feel the same.
if we help each other,
I just know we can succeed.
we are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. We'll be amongst the stars, and we know that it's destiny. That we are unity.
So we appreciate your sharing of time with us today. We welcome all newcomers to our service, either in person at Nelson Street or online later at a time. But we are grateful for those who choose to offer to the source that nurtures them spiritually. And we honor our many members who share their time, talent, and abundance with our community. And for those of you who are making an offering today, we bless that offering, knowing that those funds will be put to the highest and best use. So we are grateful for that. Amen. And so now the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. So now our peace song. So we just thank everyone for showing up today and being present. And so as we sort of move throughout the week, may we remember, or maybe we focus on how we can see the God in every face, how we can perform radical self-awareness, and may we remember that we always have that pantry full of guidance that we can use. So if anyone would like to make any comments on Pauline's talk today, either online or in person,